Today we will talk about an all-white type of dog. This is the SAMOYED. This is a dog that is more of a polo type, so not this all-black little scoundrel that you see here. But this is a type that was developed by the SAMOYED people, which led a nomadic existence, and they created this breed out of Nana type of Laikas. And also the Nanas were people that kept Laikas, especially for herding, but also sometimes for hunting, and also sled pulling and protection. So it was a little bit of a jack of all trades. And this SAMOYED, as you know now, is also known under the name SAMMY or smiling dog, smiley dog, because it carries such a deep, broad smile, often especially in the show versions. However, if you look at the old pictures of the SAMOYED, still the dog hasn't changed to an extreme. I think it has become a lot more fluffy than it once was. Also, SAMOYEDs are often described as hypoallergenic dogs, so dogs that give less allergenic triggers. So hypo means less, but still cautions should be taken for a variety of reasons. Especially if you're very allergic, one should take this into consideration. And also because SAMOYEDs have such a rich coat, which they blow, so they often only shed their coat once a year, which is a benefit. But when they do, they shed enormous loads of hairs. Also, this type of hair is sometimes used as a source to make lures for fly fishing, because they are so light and so special. And sometimes also these coats were used to create fur, like they did with Angora rabbits. So it has a little bit of that properties. It's a very nice animal in its appearance, of course, and also it doesn't have that enormous amount of exaggeration. Still an original type of dog, which is a nice thing. They share a little bit about an appearance with Arctic wolves. Sometimes those are white, but they are a little bit smaller, to even quite some bit smaller, like a medium type of dog. Often around the 20 kilogram mark, sometimes a little bit above, not often below that weight. And wolves can often be a lot bigger, and also the SAMOYED is a lot broader in the chest, like a sled dog. And this is in contrary to most Laikas, who still have a narrower front and also are a lot more leggy. This is a strong type of animal for its size, because it's quite blocky in build and has good musculature. But nowadays it's not a working dog anymore. It's kept as a show animal, and it's very friendly nature, makes it quite a good choice for people with children. But always supervision would be advised, because you don't know what an animal could do on one hand, but sometimes you do know what your animal can do in most circumstances, but you don't know what your children will do or other children will do. And this type of dog, albeit being used as a jack of all trades, is not that very good at protection anymore. It's far too friendly type of dog. So it could be that seeing a bigger dog, because it appears quite big, because the white coat reflects all the light, could deter those that have ill intentions, and also because it has a wolf-like appearance and also quite a lot of coat, so it appears a lot bigger. But they are quite friendly with humans, which is a good thing. But as a protection, guarding type of dog, it would not be a good thing, of course, to be overly friendly. It is a nice dog to be kept, especially if the conditions are not that hot, because it carries a big coat, which allows it to live in the circumstances that it was originated from. So Siberian winters are extremely cold, but also the normal Siberian temperatures are often quite cold. But it has one benefit: because its coat is all white, it will reflect a lot of the sunlight as well. So the coat can also protect them by its color, specifically against most of the sunbeams, which could be a good thing if you want a polar type of dog but still live in a sun-bathed region. But please, regardless of the coat color, give them plenty of shade and plenty of water as access. And also I would advise to trim down the coat, especially the summer times, so that the dog has the best way possible. And of course, even if you trim down the coat, you will still keep the reflective properties in place. Another thing is that I find this a funny thing. When creating the Eurasian, or also known as the Eurasier or Eurasian dog, they introduced SAMMY blood to stabilize the cocktail of the original founding breeds, being the Chinese Chow Chow and the German Wolf Spitz, which is the biggest German Spitz type. But the funny thing is, when they introduced the SAMMY blood to this mix, stabilize the temperament especially, but also the types, that they weren't that overly aggressive as Chow Chows can be, and also not that hyper protective as Spitz type could be. When they introduced this white type of dog to these crosses, they found out that the first litter was all black. This is a funny thing, I think. Not many people would expect when you cross to, for example, a more reddish or greyish litter, a white dog, that all the dogs would be all black. This is something that you find quite often when crosses of SAMOYED are involved. And I thought it would be a nice thing. So also, if you're looking at an Eurasian type of dog, you could also consider the SAMOYED, and also the other way around. If you're liking the SAMOYED but wanted a different color, or you just wanted different properties, slightly different, you could also look at the Eurasian breed. It carries quite a bit of SAMOYED blood, and also has a lot of the same appearance. So a similar smile, and also similar primitive looks and origins. Both the Wolf Spitz, which is the biggest German Spitz, and the Chow Chow could also be alternatives. The Wolf Spitz is a little bit less broad in the skull, so less heavy bones than the SAMOYED. And the Chow Chow, of course, has a lot more heavy bone structures than the SAMOYED. But the character of the Wolf Spitz and also the Chow Chow is quite dissimilar to that of the SAMOYED. Spitz types of German origin are often very alert. The SAMOYED is not that overly alert type of dog, and also these German Spitz types are less friendly, but especially Chow Chow can be a very hard ass type of dog. And this was the dog that will, even though it's now a show version, they are still renowned of their aggression, and especially when they are revigorated by crossbreeding to other breeds again, like with this Wolf Spitz, Chow Chow, so the Wolf Chow that they started with Eurasian or other breeds. SAMOYED is known to be a friendly type of dog in general, and also when you add this to a mix like they did with the Eurasian, you also get a very much improvement for those that like that in being easy to be shown and be friendly to all people. Whereas if you are looking for a really good guardian type of dog that has the appearance of a medium-sized Spitz, the Wolf Chow is still a very good way to go. because the alertness of the German spit and the aggression and the power of the show make a good mix and gives you the best of both. So the exaggerations of the show are almost all negotiated with, and they get a little bit more of the courage of the show into the wool spits, and that is a good mix to make. I hope you liked this video. Let me know in the comments, and have a nice day. Bye bye.